Hey guys, it's aquaisyummy here, and today I'm going to be doing a different type of video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my unfiltered experience on hitting high elo and all the highs and lows that comes with it. I've decided to make this video now because I just wanted to reflect on my League of Legends career so far. Season 11 has already rolled around and it's pretty much a dumpster fire at this point. The game's definitely not going to be the same in the future, so I just want to reminisce on the good old days. This video is going to be divided up into 3 parts. How I climbed up to the promised land, which will also feature some of my tips that you can use on your own climb, my experience at the promised land, and my thoughts on high elo now. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. My brother introduced me to League of Legends at the ripe age of 10, which was around the start of season 4. From that moment on, I was hooked and even skipped some days at school to secretly grind in my room. I actually almost got held back for missing so many days, but that's a story for another time. Anyways, I ended my first season in Plat 5, which I was pretty proud of, but I wanted to catch my brother who ended Plat 3. If you guys didn't know, I started out as a Tyler 1 one-trick because deleting people as Draven was pretty fun. The next season, I discovered that one-shotting people with Rengar was even more fun, so I became a dirty Rengar main and eventually hit Diamond. I would remain hard stuck in Diamond for a couple of seasons until Season 7 rolled around. During this season, and really any season, my only goal is to improve, which I feel like is the main reason I was able to reach Masters. Season 8, I took a break from League and didn't go for a big boy climb, so I just ended up Diamond. Season 9 was the season where I finally made it into the promised land. Honestly, I never thought I would hit Challenger or even Masters, but through studying the game, I eventually made it. Season 10, I managed to climb my way back to Masters, but because I started the last month of the season, I wasn't really able to climb back to Challenger, which is quite unfortunate, but it's whatever. The background footage that you guys are seeing are some of the games during that climb. After seeing the results of my climb, I don't think I'm special or anything. Yes, I'm probably a little more talented than the average Joe, but that can only take you so far. I've spent probably the same amount of time learning the game as I've spent playing it, and I feel like most people who truly dedicate themselves to improving would also see similar results. Some of the most important things I've learned climbing out of this cesspool known as soloque are 1. Learn by watching players better than you. Scrub Noob has taught me so many mechanics that I would never even dream of, like flashing into bushes, constantly double jumping off wards, and the best pass in the jungle, just to name a few. I also always watched a couple of games of Scrub Noobs if I ever found myself losing multiple games straight. A big problem I always had was inting at level 3 Scuttle Crab skirmishes, so I pulled up Scrub's Twitch and saw that he would sometimes gank mid to get prio, which I incorporated into my own gameplay. 2. No tilting. Tilting is probably the single best way to block you from getting to your dream rank and hating the game in the process. This is a big reason why League is becoming more and more of a toxic game. After playing for so long, I've pretty much become immune to the toxicity of solo queue, and here's how I do it. For 1, I always picture my teammates as legitimate dogs playing the game, so they can't help it if they are playing like ones. 2, whenever I int or my team starts typing too much, you need to type that /mute all immediately because there's no point in arguing with dogs. You can unmute later in the game if they cool down and you want to command them to close out the game. 3, think about things outside of League. At the end of the day, it's just a game, and are you really going to get mad at a computer screen? Come on, you're better than that. 4, drop the ego. I've seen so many people pull up op.ggs explaining to the enemy or teammate why they're trash and everything, and honestly I just think that's too much work. Just drop it and just mute all, man. It really doesn't matter that much. If you're better than them, then you don't need stats on a screen to prove it. Lastly, my golden rule for solo queue is to disregard LP and solely focus on improving. After every single game, you should reflect on how you played, what you should have done better, and making a mental note on to do that in the future games. You can always do things to improve no matter how bad your teammates play or how well you play. Even games that you win, you can still improve because games these days are so easily throwable no matter how far you're ahead. This one concept helped me hit Masters and Challenger, so once you truly internalize this, you'll start seeing a change in your rank. Now that you guys are hopefully Challenger, I'll be telling you guys what to expect. For one thing, your schlong will grow to an almost unfathomable size and you'll get to show it off to all your friends. You'll also start seeing the beautiful Master, Grandmaster, and Challenger borders in every loading screen. Honestly, in the beginning, these borders terrified me. I always considered myself a diamond player before, so I felt like I didn't belong. Eventually, it's like anything in life, you get used to it and you consider yourself a part of high elo. Now that you're high elo though, you're also going to have to maintain it. Riot has made it so that you have to stay active if you want to stay in Challenger. I don't know the exact values, but after 10 days of not playing ranked, you need to play a game or lose about 100 LP every day. Personally, that is way too much League for me, and after hitting my peaks, I just stopped playing to focus on school, and within a couple of weeks, my progress was wiped clean. One thing that is kind of nice though is your MMR stays the same even if you decay, so your LP gains will be quite juicy. I say kind of nice though because I decayed out of Challenger and picked up the game a year later. I was quite rusty, so in my first game back, I was already in a Challenger game and I got ruthlessly molested, so I had to build up my skill again on a different account. You'll also start to play with all the streamers and pro players that you grew up watching, which I think is the coolest part. After every game I play with them, I always rewatch the games from their perspective to see their reactions to either my smurf or in plays. It's these moments and my desire to teach what I've learned about the game that led me to create this YouTube channel, so if you guys are enjoying, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You can always change your mind. Because high elo has so few players, you'll start to recognize names to the point where you pretty much know everybody in every lobby. This can be a good thing to create relationships with other players, but it can also be a bad thing. There's so many players with absolutely massive egos, so if you underperform in one game, whenever they see you in the future, they will just flame you into oblivion or, in some worst case scenarios, into you. One of my most memorable memories of this is when I got autofilled support back in Season 9. At this time, Nautilus was a pretty broken support, so I was like, what the heck, I'll just first time it. I ended up going 0-18 against Duo King, who was playing ADC. Man flamed me throughout his stream, which I guess I deserved, but I had the last laugh as I ended up winning that game. After that game, I got matched up with him a few more times, and whenever I was losing, he would say, should have played not, or something like that. Getting flamed by a streamer definitely feels different than your average hard stuck player, but it balances out for when you do well against one. That pretty much wraps up my experience in Challenger. I probably missed a few things, but those are the major parts. Looking back at it, hitting Challenger is probably my most impressive achievement of my life so far. In the 6 seasons I've played, I've racked upwards of 6,000 hours and I've probably spent about the same amount of time watching League of Legends related content. That's 500 days of my life that I could have spent on something productive like studying. If I could go back in time and spend those hours on something else, would I? Honestly, no. I would never trade that experience for anything else. This game has helped me grow up and it taught me countless life lessons like learning from your mistakes, how to work as a team, and the importance of self-improvement. Wow, it's kind of cheesy, but honestly, I believe every word of it. In terms of the game quality has been constantly decreasing each season and is at an all-time low. I've seen many videos like Voyboys talking about how bad soloque has become because of griefers, stream snipers, win traders, etc. And I think this trend is going to stay unless Riot starts doing something big about it. They said that they're going to start introducing a bunch of measures in Season 11, but they're also changing a large part of the game with the items rework. So far I've only seen a few happy people about it compared to the masses of people quite salty. And I think this discontent with the items will continue to decrease game quality. Personally, I haven't been having much fun in preseason because they pretty much ruined Assassin Rengar with the team mat change, but I'll probably still manage. What are your guys' opinion on Season 11 so far? I'd love to know. Just drop them down in the comment section below. Anyways, that wraps up my League experience. I hope you guys at least found some parts of it interesting, and I'll see you guys next time.